Story 1. My parents falsely accused my brother of being a creep, and it's really affecting him. My brother is 15, my sister is 17, and I'm 23, female. This situation is really awkward and shouldn't have happened, but it did, and now I need some advice on how to handle it and make things better. Here's what happened according to my brother, since I wasn't there at the time. He was in his room, just playing on his phone and minding his own business. He got up to take out the trash, came back, and laid down on his bed. As he was getting comfortable, he noticed our dog walking out of his room, but he didn't think much of it at the time. Later, my sister noticed that some of her clothes were missing. She went looking for them and found them in my brother's room. The clothes were wet and slimy. She immediately told our parents, and things went downhill from there. My parents thought the worst, and a big argument broke out between my dad, mom, and brother. Things were said in the heat of the moment. My mom said, "I knew you were weird, but not this weird." My dad said, "I raised a predator." It was intense. In the end, my parents asked me to pick him up and let him stay with me for a couple of days. When I picked him up, he was silent the entire time and didn't say a word. During his stay with me, he kept to himself in the room. He only came out for dinner and skipped breakfast and lunch. His eyes were always red when he came out, so I assumed he'd been crying. I've never seen him cry before. He usually just shuts off his emotions, so I could tell the things they said really affected him. By the end of the week, my parents called me and said they wanted to talk to him. They came over, and before they arrived, I tried talking to him, but he ignored me. When they got there, they apologized to him. Over the week, they noticed more of my sister's clothes in his room. Eventually, my dad caught the dog with my sister's clothes in his mouth. My brother just nodded and went home. I asked my parents if he could stay longer, but they said that wouldn't be necessary. Later on, I got a call asking me what he had done at my place since he'd spent the whole time in his room when he was back at their house. Is there anything I can do to help him feel better? Update: good news. My brother can stay with me until Sunday. I had to kind of lie to my parents to get him to come. I told them he should get out of the house because he spends most of his time just sitting in one spot doing online school. They didn't believe me at first, but I told them it'd be a good chance to get him out of his room. They finally agreed, and I picked him up just as he was about to go to sleep. Right now, the plan is to spend time with him this week, even though I'm broke, so it's just going to be a lot of home activities. I tried talking to him during the car ride and asked if he was okay. He said he was fine, and we had a short conversation about his school. So, at least he's talking a bit now. He's staying in the spare room, so everything seems okay for now. Comment 1. Your parents need to apologize to your brother profusely. Beyond that, I sadly have no other advice to offer. I can understand why he's upset. Comment 2. Your parents are the worst kind of assholes. Your brother deserves more than a load of shit apology. Comment 3. Does "I knew you were weird, but not this weird" stick out to anyone else? I think the sister can be forgiven for her wreck tie-on, though she absolutely owes the brother an apology. But the parents need to be closely examined here for more than just in-the-moment shitty behavior. Comment 4. Your parents broke your brother and accuse him of things they can't walk back. I would get him a therapist ASAP. Story 2. Update. My parents falsely accused my brother of being a creep, and it's really affecting him. So, I've been asked to update you all on the situation with my brother. Many of you suggested I let him stay with me, but I ended up taking him back to our parents' house this morning. The last update I gave was when I had my brother stay with me for a week, starting last Sunday. On Monday, we spent most of the day just talking. He stayed in his room at first and wasn't really responding, so I told him that our parents were wrong and that he wasn't weird, or at least I tried to say something along those lines. He didn't react much, just stared blankly at me. We stopped talking after that. Tuesday was similar. He stayed in his room a lot. I suggested we go to McDonald's, and he agreed to come out and eat. We talked about random stuff, but he wasn't really interested until we started talking about my Xbox. We got into Madden, and he started saying how good he was at the game. I could tell he was getting more into it, and we spent the rest of the meal talking about that before he went back to his room. On Wednesday, I bought Madden to try to get him more engaged, even though I'm not a huge sports game person. I prefer games like Cuphead or cartoonish ones. I asked him if he wanted to play, and surprisingly, he agreed. Madden ended up being super frustrating because it felt like the game was cheating me from the start. Despite that, he laughed a few times, and we spent a good chunk of the day just playing and talking. Thursday was pretty much a repeat of Wednesday. He was talking more, though. We planned to go to the movies, but decided to stay in due to COVID. We spent a lot of the day watching Netflix. He stayed in his room a bit, but he was coming out more frequently by this point. Friday, I decided to try to talk to him again about the situation. I told him I talked to our parents to make them understand why he was upset, and I also suggested seeing a professional. He asked me not to talk to them about it, saying it was better if no one brought it up again. I was a bit shocked, but didn't push. We went on a walk, which was nice because it gave us more time to just chat. I think it also made me realize that I need to talk to my siblings more often. He seemed happier after that. On Saturday, we played some random games together instead of Madden. He was quieter during dinner, though, and when I asked if something was wrong, he said he wasn't ready to go back home yet. I didn't really know how to respond. I asked if he wanted me to talk to our parents to figure something out, but he just said no again. I told him he could come over anytime he wanted, and he seemed okay with that. So today he's back at home. I didn't talk to our parents yet because I'm respecting his wishes. I know some of you suggested getting him a therapist, but he's turned that down too. I called my sister to check on her, and she said she tried to apologize to him, but he ignored her. I'm not sure where that's going, but I'm taking things one step at a time. Overall, though, he seemed much happier than last week. I texted him today, and he said he'd like to come back next week. Personal reflection, optional part. I'll be honest, I'm still figuring things out. I'm 23 and trying to get my life together. I'm a firefighter, so I'm lucky to have a lot of vacation time, or I'd have had to work through all of this. Some of you mentioned how, as a firefighter, I should know what to do when someone's showing signs of depression, but I wasn't trained for this kind of thing. I've had training for situations where someone's actively trying to harm themselves, but that wasn't the case here. I was just panicking because it was family, and I know I should have kept my cool, but I didn't know what to do. I've been a firefighter for 2 years, and I realize now I need to work on handling these kinds of things better. Also, I made a mistake when I first found out what happened. When I heard about it, I didn't really react. I thought he'd just get over it, and everything would be fine. But as I spent more time with him and realized how much he was affected by everything, I understood that my initial response wasn't right. I'm grateful to the person who pointed that out because it made me realize that even though my actions seemed okay from the outside, I was still thinking in a way that was too similar to how our parents were thinking. I don't think he's weird, but I guess I was desensitized to some of the things our parents say, and I got to change that. I'm committed to being there for both my brother and sister, and I'm working on myself so I can be the support they need. Comment 1. You're a good sister. Most people would kill to have someone like you in their life. Keep it up, OP. Take care of your brother. Sounds like he really needs somebody right now. Comment 2. Your bro reminds me of myself when I was 15. I remember being angry and shy back then. I would mainly be quiet and just keep to myself. This made me a bit of an asshole. I was foully accused of stealing money from my parents, and it sucked. Talking about it sucked. When the truth came out, it still sucked. I can imagine he's just really angry with his family, excluding you, and also embarrassed at the same time. I doubt he'll want to talk, but playing games with him or just having fun sounds like a good way to keep a healthy relationship with him. Comment 3. Hey, be strong for your brother, but also don't forget to be strong for yourself as well. It's heartwarming to see siblings taking care of each other, even though there are hardships to go through it. I suggest family therapy or even individual therapy. Maybe an outside party might help your brother to heal for what happened. Ask your parents about it. Be sure to communicate. Communication is key to solve this situation. Comment 4. Couple things you should think about Opie is that his reason for not wanting you to talk to the parents is he is most likely afraid they might say something to get you to turn against him. When some former friends convinced my GF I cheated on her, and she believed them dumping me, I was terrified they were able to do this with more of the people I care about, and they tried. Another reason for him ignoring his sister is he is afraid she had a hand in this, and any interaction with her will reinforce what he was accused of. Either way, make sure your parents understand this was not okay, and it was the kind of thing parents get CPS called on them for. Story 3. My 21M girlfriend's 21F grandfather is a Michelin star chef and is visiting. I'm supposed to cook for them, but I cannot cook. What am I supposed to do? So yeah, I'm panicking. For context, I've been with my girlfriend since March 2019. I love this girl more than anything. Like full-on hard eyes, head over heels kind of love. Here's the issue. I'm 21, a rising senior in college, and I cannot cook. Like at all. I'm not exaggerating. I can make some very basic pasta, maybe a boiled egg if I'm really feeling confident, but once you get into multiple ingredients territory, I'm out. I've tried recipes. I've tried YouTube. I've tried reading them like scientific procedures. But my food either comes out wildly undercooked or completely incinerated. There's no in between. I just don't get doneness. It's a mystery. Anyway, I live in an apartment near campus, and my girlfriend and I plan to have dinner here soon. I offered to cook. Why? I don't know. I got overconfident and thought, how hard can it be? Famous last words. Then I made the mistake of mentioning this plan to her brother, who I'm friends with, and he casually dropped the fact that their grandfather has a Michelin star. Yep, a Michelin star. As in, real deal culinary royalty. I asked my girlfriend why she never told me this, and she said, I didn't want you to freak out. Spoiler alert, I freaked out. Now I'm scrambling. I don't cook. I don't even own dishes. Most of my college life has been dining halls, Uber Eats, and frozen meals. The only thing I have going for me is that I know a decent amount about wine, like probably above average for a 21-year-old. So I can at least pair something properly if I had something to pair it with. I honestly thought about pulling a Seymour Skinner and buying takeout from a high-end place, plating it nicely, and passing it off as mine. If I did, should I confess to my girlfriend? I don't want to lie to her, but I also don't want to ruin my shot with someone I really, truly love. I know I'm rambling, but I'm in a state of mild to moderate meltdown. I just want to make a good impression on someone who clearly means a lot to her. Update 1. After reading a ton of advice and talking with a friend, we've devised a plan, a test run. We'll invite a professor who's in on it and a foodie friend of his for a fake dinner at my place. We'll secretly order takeout from a top local steakhouse, keep it under heat lamps so it's warm but not perfect to make it more believable. I'll also fry a cheap steak on my stove so the apartment smells legit and dirty up a few pans to sell the illusion. I'm also studying YouTube cooking videos like I'm cramming for finals, learning all the lingo, techniques, and timing. I'll memorize a fake recipe just in case I'm quizzed. I figure if I can't cook, I can at least act like I can. I've also got the wine side covered. I can confidently talk about reds, and I'll do a crash course on whites just to be safe. Plan B. If the test run fails or feels unethical, I'll own up to it. I'll tell him the truth. I'm not an experienced cook, but I really want to learn, and I'd be honored if he'd be willing to teach me something simple. I'll pay for all the ingredients, of course. I just worry that sounds like I'm not putting in effort, or worse, trying to suck up. He's coming all the way from France? Yep, she's French-American, so I really want to make this count. Dinner is on August 17th. I'll update again after, either with my redemption arc or my downfall. Final note for now. After a lot of back and forth, I've decided to just go for it and cook something. I'll figure it out. Between now and August 17th, I'll learn. I'll practice. I'll try my best. Whatever happens, I want to be able to say I tried and that I didn't let fear stop me. Catch y'all in the sequel on August 18th. Wish me luck. Comment 1. I wouldn't try deception. That never works out well. Maybe try something simple but classic. There are a lot of fairly easy pasta dishes. I'm sure the grandfather isn't expecting you to be Gordon Ramsay. Comment 2. Make a potato and then tell them that you found this crazy vegetable at the store and you'd never seen it before. Make them believe you don't know what a potato is. This is a can't-miss strategy. Comment 3. He's not expecting you to be a Michelin star chef. Don't stress too much. Ask your girlfriend for help. Comment 4. Dude, I really want to try your plan. Dude's gonna figure it out. You're gonna be called out as a liar. Her grandfather is gonna think poorly of you for a long time. Literally just pick a recipe, practice it every night for a week, and when you serve it, just fess up and say, I'm sorry, I'm not a great cook. This is what I've made. I hope you all enjoy. Story 4. Update. My 21M girlfriend's 21 grandfather is a Michelin star chef and is visiting. I'm supposed to cook for them, but I cannot cook. What am I supposed to do? Hey everyone. First off, huge thanks to all of you for your advice. My girlfriend's grandfather came over and we had dinner last night. So here's the update on that post. I'm a bit tipsy right now, so please bear with any typos. Anyway, I spent all summer stressing about how to impress him. I was seriously considering pulling the old Skinner scam, buying takeout and trying to pass it off as my own cooking. But in the end, I decided to just give it a shot and try to cook something myself. I spent most of July experimenting with steak. I started with cheap cuts, and honestly, it was really difficult at first. But I learned from every mistake I made. For the actual dinner, I wanted to go all out, so I splurged on some really nice steaks. I cooked 3, one for each of us, and to my surprise, they turned out better than I expected. Obviously, they weren't Michelin star level, but hey, I'll take it. I also bought a nice bottle of Cabernet to pair with the meal. That said, the grandfather actually showed up with some rum, so we ended up having both. It's around midnight here, August 16th, and the dinner happened on the evening of August 14th, as he arrived early due to some changes in our school schedule. He told me the steak was nice, which felt like a win in my book. The next day, well, technically today, he and I went out for burgers and hot dogs, just the two of us. We also went through a lot of beer. It was a really positive experience, and we got along great. I'm really glad I didn't risk passing off takeout as my own cooking. As for my professor's foodie friend, I might still try to pull off the test run with him at some point. Once the pandemic is behind us, we all got tested before the dinner, just to be safe. All in all, I'm just happy everything went well. And most importantly, I really, really love my girlfriend. Comment 1. So glad you didn't try to fake it. That would have been bad, and you would have had to live with the deception. Congratulations and good work. Comment 2. Learning to cook good food is one of the best investments you can make in yourself. Good on you, man. Comment 3. This is so cute. I cry. I'm glad it worked out. Comment 4. Good on you for cooking your own meal. A proper chef will never berate you for trying to cook a meal yourself. Conning him would have fallen through immediately. So glad you didn't go that route. Cooking is an amazing skill to have, and it's really fun to do. So I'm happy this turned out the way it did. Keep on cooking, smiley face. Comment 5, congrats. Cooking's a lot of fun, and it helps that we all have to eat every day, so you could get a lot of practice in if you want to. And making mistakes, or mistakes, haha, is a big part of that, just like anything else. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.